2020, the rise of Black Lives Matter Sudbury.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
They marched through the heat, the rain, as safely as possible through a pandemic, and they have marched for change.
The whole world is in solidarity right now. There are protests in New Zealand, in France, in Ghana, because we can all see that there has to be a change. And today we're here because we will not stop until there is a change.
It was rage, passion, and a sense of duty that united protesters that day, and it culminated in the formation of Black Lives Matter Sudbury and their next event.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this Black Lives Matter rally, Juneteenth.
Attendees to the Juneteenth rally, held June 19th in Sudbury, felt the heat of the day as the temperature soared, perhaps akin to the feeling of those in Galveston, Texas, as they finally heard that the Civil War had ended, that the Emancipation Proclamation was signed more than 2 years prior. They heard that they were finally free. It was an opportunity to honor those who had been enslaved.
These people were scholars, philosophers. These people had names, faces. These people had dreams and aspirations. And all of that was stripped away the moment they were shipped.
And to reflect on the change still needed.
Because it is necessary that we embrace the innate human nature that moves us to cry at another's misery and harvest it as fuel for change.
No racist police! No justice! No peace!
In July, Black Lives Matter hosted a Sunday sit-in on the anniversary of the Shelburne race riots, the 1784 event that is considered the first race riot in North America. They shared their requirements for change, asking attendees to chalk the courtyard at Tom Davies Square with 9 demands related to community funding allocation, including greater Sudbury Police Service, sexual violence resources, mental health resources, Black History Month and youth programming, as well as a call for acknowledgement of systemic racism and white privilege, and equal representation of the BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, People of Color community within the Arts and GSPS Board of Directors.
We do not blame you for the way your ancestors wrote history. We, however, demand that you reflect. I'm not trying to lecture anybody today. I'm telling you that it is your duty, in your position of privilege, to learn our history, to help decolonize the education system and help understand how our international system functions, how systematic discrimination functions. You should not have to wait until February to learn that Black people were slaves. It is your duty to help us teach the youth of our community that their history doesn't start and end with colonialism and slavery.
Though their planning was hampered by COVID-19, the group has still managed to achieve many of their goals. In September, the group presented demands to Sudbury City Council, again pushing for investment in programming for youth of color and support for community health programs and social services rather than policing.
Opportunities that you speak of.
But Black Lives Matter Sudbury was deeply disappointed in the response they received, and so on a rainy October 18th, they marched for social change. That march began at the mural, the one they created. Designed in consultation with several community groups, the mural features the colors of the Indigenous medicine wheel, the Pride flag, the trans flag, the Pan-African flag, as well as the Black Lives Matter colors. Volunteers painted for more than 12 hours to create the Elgin Street mural, BIPOC Lives Matter. But sadly, a tragedy in November. One of the group's fiercest members, Tamara London, chair of the Education Committee and a woman remembered for her passion and commitment to the cause, died tragically in a car accident at the age of 22. Black Lives Matter Sudbury recently redesigned their logo in remembrance of her strength, in the hope that she would live on in their work.
Justice for Regis!
Justice for Regis!
And though 2020 was the beginning of Black Lives Matter Sudbury, it is certainly not the end. In 2021, they have already released a call to action to their members regarding an increase to the police budget, culminating in a statement to Sudbury.com voicing their demands for change and a presentation to the Greater Sudbury City Council homelessness consultation. For 2021 still holds an entire year of hope for the group.
Having the city listen and see that we are here and that we belong here and that our lives have value, and recognizing that. So actively represent the people that are being here and stop trying to ignore the the marginalized community that is here, and no more people saying Black people don't live in Sudbury. We are here in the North. We belong in the North. Our lives have been woven into the existence of Sudbury for so long, and it's important that we as a community, we have to recognize that and reconcile with that. And then how can we connect with one another to program, to create initiatives and actually create an equitable situation where we have access to grants and fundings for community initiatives within our educational institutions as well.
I think it's imperative to be very inclusive, especially with an organization like Black Lives Matter, is because we want to represent our community. You know, we come from different walks of life, different backgrounds, Black, Indigenous, people of color, queer, women, children, everyone. And I think we want our organization to represent that.